What is up, guys? It is your boy DJ Steam, aka Common Comics. Just gonna do a haul video real fast. It's from Free Comic Book Day, um, May 6th, 2023. Um, we did what I like to call a comic shop crawl. So we hit up 4 shops throughout the day in my local area. It was a pretty long day. I think it lasted from first shop I got to sometime around I think 10, and I wasn't back home and everything until around 5 o'clock. So it was a long day, but it was pretty cool. All the local shops were running some really great deals, so we decided to check them out, see what we could find. We actually found some really cool stuff. So we hit up Zap Comics in Manalapan, the Comic Crypt in Eatontown, which is my LCS. Comics Relief in Toms River, and Conquest Comics in Bayville. All Central Jersey locations, all great shops. I love each and every one of these shops. It was actually my first time at Comics Relief, but it was a great shop. It really was. So we're just gonna get into it. We're gonna go through some of the stuff. We're gonna start with some of the runs that I've been trying to collect. So if you saw my last video, you saw that I have been on the hunt to collect the entire Dark Knights run with all tie-ins, everything. So we actually checked off a decent amount of books on that run during this hunt. I think I have 8 books left to go, and I think it's a little over 30 books total. And I haven't started this that long ago. I think it's maybe a month of collecting it, maybe a little bit more. So we picked up the Dark Knight's Metal #2. Wait, this is #2, yeah. I just love the covers on these foil covers. They also look really cool under the light that we're using. #3, awesome Greg Capullo cover. #4, Dream on the cover. We picked up #6, which is just this really crazy Capullo cover. This cover is insane. I'm really excited to read this. I just got all my trades in, so I can finally read this. I never read this run. I don't know why, but I never got into it, and it's something I just have always wanted to read. So started collecting it, but when I started collecting it, I made sure I picked up all the trades so I could read without actually having to use the comics. So I just got all those in, so we're starting it soon. This is the Merciless cover. This is a really beautiful cover. And then this is the Hawkman Found tie-in. Like I said, we're doing all the tie-ins, all of it. So, and then I did pick up another copy of The Forge, just a really nice Jim Lee cover. I do have this one, but it's really reasonable, so grab that one. So took a big chunk out of the Dark Knights run, so that was pretty cool. The next books in the run, some of the runs that I've been trying to fill, were Power Rangers #2. This is the first ever Power Rangers comics. And #3. This is actually the #2 is actually the first appearance of the Green Ranger in comics, which is pretty cool. And #3. So that completed my full run of the first Power Rangers series. So we do have all the rest: 1, 4, 5, and 6. So we finished off that run, which is really cool. This is something I've wanted to check off for a while. I have the #1 slabbed in a 9.8, but I wanted the full run in raw. I grew up when Power Rangers were. I was really young when Power Rangers were a thing. I was very much into Power Rangers, especially the first series and stuff like that. So it's a big part of my childhood. So something I gravitate towards. I still collect Power Ranger comics, like the current run and everything like that. So I was really happy to find those because they're not the easiest books to find. Next up, as far as runs are concerned, we're trying to collect the J. Scott Campbell Black Cat run. So we picked up number 4, and this is a really beautiful cover. The number 8. I'm a huge J. Scott Campbell fan, and I just want to have this whole run. I did have it at one point. I sold pieces of it, and I just decided it was something that I really wanted to have and hold on to. So I think we're two issues away. I think the 9 and the 11. I think the 11's a little bit harder to find or a little bit more expensive. It's the first appearance of the Iron Cat armor. Um, so I haven't found those yet, but hopefully I think the number 9 is the one with Wolverine claws on it. And then we picked up the Spider Woman 22. Another run I'm filling. I'm 2 books away from finishing this run now. I just need a 5 and a 6. So pretty pumped about that. Nice copy. Couldn't find the 5 and 6, but like I said, we're just 2 books away from finishing that run, which will be pretty cool. And then I had a big Star Wars show on my Whatnot stream for Star Wars Day, and I unloaded a lot of Star Wars books. So I kind of re-upped on a lot of Star Wars stuff. I'm kind of restarting to collect the run of the original Star Wars again. I had bits and pieces, but I wasn't happy with the condition on a lot of them. So I just moved on from them and kind of started over. So these are some of the ones that we found during Free Comic Book Day and stuff like that. So the 106, which I think this is the second to last issue. Yeah, but you get that really cool Danny and Princess Leia cover. There's not too many Danny covers. So I thought that was pretty cool. This is one of my favorite covers of the whole run. This is 94, Ewok cover. This is a Cynthia Martin cover. So it's pretty cool. This issue is a little different from the rest of the run. The art and stuff like that is interesting. This is one of my all-time favorite covers in the run. It's just the 74. You got this awesome Darth Vader and like Princess Leia and Luke, like scuba gear cover. It's just really interesting. It's something you don't see in the movies. So like I remember my older brother had this issue when I was younger, and I was just always like drawn to it. I just thought it was something so cool. Next we have 69, which is the first appearance of the Mythosaur in skeletal form only. You see him on the cover there. So Mandalorian Keen. So it's not in the greatest condition. So the Star Wars are kind of I'd say a little bit higher than mid grade, but a lot of them could use a press. We picked up the 62, which is just this awesome all red Luke cover. It's also a Walt Simonson cover, so one of my favorite artists. We picked up the number 50, one of like the Giants issues. The art on this is kind of crazy, but you get the whole gang there, so pretty cool. Next, I'm trying to collect all the Empire Strikes Back issues. That's my favorite Star Wars movie, anything basically. So we picked up, this is 44, awesome Luke and Darth Vader cover. This is the issue that Darth Vader is revealed as Luke's father in the comic. And then we have, this is issue 40. This is the first appearance of Rogue Squadron in comics, but just a really iconic Star Wars scene, obviously. I just thought it was crazy why they made the sky orange on this cover. I mean, it does make it like pop, but I thought it was a very interesting choice. But Marvel was always about the contrasting colors. Back then, they would change even characters' costume colors just to make the covers look, I guess, bolder is a way to say it. Next up, we have 39. This is the first issue of the Empire Strikes Back storyline. And this is the first mention of Rogue Squadron in comics. So that's what we got from Volume 1. So we, got a nice chunk of Volume 1 Star Wars. So it was nice to kind of get back into that. We picked up 2 other Star Wars books. We picked up the Star Wars Tales number 11, photo variant with Han on the cover. And number 15, another photo cover variant with Slave Leia and Luke on the cover. just cool covers. These books are pretty cool. The Star Wars Tales from Dark Horse, pretty good stuff. So um, we'll go into now. This is a bunch of like the single issues and stuff like that that I picked up. Just stuff that caught my eye. Um, a lot of cool stuff though. I was pretty pumped about this. So these. So we picked up another J. Scott Campbell cover. This is Gen 13, number 5. Just a badass Gen 13 cover. Wasn't anything crazy. It's not a key or anything like that. I just thought the cover was awesome. Next up, we picked up Incredible Hulk 82. This is one of my all-time favorite covers. This is a J. Lee cover, but I have like probably 5 or 6 copies of this book. It's one of my all-time favorite covers. I just think it's beautiful. It's also the cover that really turned me on to J. Lee arts and covers. So next up, we picked up 2 Zatanna keys. So this is Justice League of America 163. First appearance of Cindella, Zatanna's mother. Nothing crazy, but big fan of Zatanna. So when I see books like this, I can't help it. And then we got 161, really nice copy of 161 with the whole Justice League on the cover. Really nice. And this is the issue that she joins the Justice League and the debut of her new costume. So pretty cool. We picked up Mark Spector Moon Knight 36. That awesome Punisher cover with him blasting through the trade. So cool. Again, nothing major. It's a minor key, but the cover is really why I got this book. Then we got Iron Man 284. This is a big book, and I think it's a bit of an undervalued book. First appearance of Rhodey in the War Machine armor. The cover is not my favorite, but I'm a huge War Machine fan, so like I said, I think it's a very undervalued book. Then I found this one, which I thought was interesting. Like I said in my last video, like when I'm hunting through bins and stuff like that, I'm always drawn to like some different stuff, like anything that stands out. And this was definitely one of those. So Itchy and Scratchy, number 1. First Itchy and Scratchy comic. It's complete with the poster. And just really cool. I grew up with The Simpsons. I do have a few Simpsons comics and keys. But I thought this one was just really cool. So picked that up. And everyone was having these really great sales. So all this stuff was really reasonable. So next up we have the Homage Studio swimsuit special. Another undervalued key. I found a ton of like early art from J. Scott Campbell in this. First artwork in comics by Brett Booth in this. Jim Lee, Mark Silvestri. There's just like Scott Williams, like a ton of artists in this that are just like really cool stuff. It's really reasonable book. It's another one that every time I see it, I'll just grab it because, again, I'm a big fan of J. Scott Campbell, but also I just think it's a very undervalued book. This was one I was surprised I saw for the price that I did. This Miracle Man number 1. My favorite author is Alan Moore. And that's not just in comics or anything. Overall, like he's my favorite author. And I've never read Miracle Man. And something I definitely want to get into because he starts off the series and then Neil Gaiman takes it over after. Another one of my favorite authors. And I've never gotten around to reading it. So I'm really excited to check this out. But I was glad I got an issue of number 1 in nice grade too. It was really nice. So next up we have Catwoman 53. Just really nice Hughes cover. Just really cool. Minor key, but just the cover is really what this book's about. Not that the story's not good. That one of Catwoman is actually really great, but that cover is amazing. So let's get to a few more here. So we found some really nice milestone books. Blood Syndicate number 1, still in the poly bag. Always trying to pick up milestone books when I can find them, especially still polybagged. So, and then Icon, #1, first appearance of Icon and Rocket. Really awesome, awesome book. And like I said, still polybagged, really nice condition. We picked up Mark Spector, Moon Knight, 52. Awesome Gambit, Werewolf by Night, and Moon Knight cover. I think it's Werewolf by Night, Werewolf cover regardless. But I just love this cover with the card. Just really cool. You don't get too many Gambit Moon Knight covers, but there's a couple actually, and they're all amazing. Next up, we have Hot Shots #1. So first appearance of Hot Shots. But this is the Ryan Gonzalez 1 in 25 variant. Just really cool. I have the J. Scott Campbell variant for this. I have the #1 actually in a slab, but I didn't have this one. And I do like Ryan Gonzalez. I know some of his artwork can be a little cartoonish, maybe, but I still really do love it. And this one really stood out to me. Plus, it was a 1 in 25, and it was very, very reasonable. So, and I love Domino. Next up, we picked up a few Harley Quinn books, another one of my favorite characters. And these are also J. Scott Campbell covers. So this is the sketch Harley Little Black book. And then we have also the black and white. So just really, really nice covers. The Wonder Woman on this cover is amazing. And then we picked up a few of the Harley Quinn #1. These are the Michael Turner variants. So that's the color variant. And we picked up the sketch variant. I love Michael Turner's artwork. Another one of my favorite artists. The holiday variant, which is great. Maybe I'll put this on a holiday show. Although I'll probably end up keeping these. Most of my Harley books I keep. And then we also got this Suicide Squad #1. This is the Lee Bermejo variant. I just thought this was beautiful. I'd never seen this. And it's a #1. It's a really, really nice variant cover. I just thought it was awesome. So grab that. And we got, I think, maybe 10 more books. These are some of the, nothing too crazy, but some nice books. So we picked up the Black Knight #1. This is one of my all-time favorite books. This book was really big for me when I started collecting comics as a kid. I was very much into like medieval like lore, like King Arthur and stuff like that. I was like fascinated by that stuff as a kid, and I was also very much into comics. So I obviously gravitated towards Black Knight. I just thought, and this cover basically got me right away. But one of my all-time favorite books. I have a few copies of this. But it's one of those ones, every time I see it, if it's a good deal, I'll pick it up, just because of the sentimental value it holds for me. We picked up the ASM 375, that awesome gold foil Bagley cover. Really nice. I think we're going to be doing a Spidey show for Into the Spider-Verse. So we're probably going to do like a Spider-Man themed show for Whatnot at some point coming up near the release of that movie. So this may go up. I don't know. Again, I have a couple copies of this, but it's one of those covers, like I said, time I see it, and if it's reasonable, I'll grab it because love that foil. Definitely a 90s kid. X-Men 24. Really classic Rogue and Gambit cover. This is probably my favorite Rogue and Gambit cover of all time. Andy Kubert cover. You also get, I believe it's the first issue that Rogue and Gambit kiss. But really cool stuff there. Another Alan Moore book, The Killing Joke. This is the 4th print, edition. So you get that light orange trade dress. This book was incredibly reasonable for what I got it at. So one of my all-time favorite Batman stories. So had to grab that. Picked up a copy of Ghost Rider 28. This is, I think, the last issue of Midnight of Rise of the Midnight Suns. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is the first one. Sorry, opposite of last. But I did have a copy of this, but it had a price sticker on the poly bag, and I couldn't get it off cleanly. So this one is just a little bit nicer than the one I had um, to complete that run. So well, it was complete, but um, upgrade the 28. So that was pretty cool. Got this really awesome Miss Marvel uh, cover. This is Miss Marvel #5, an iconic Miss Marvel cover. I just really, this might be my favorite Miss Marvel cover. I think this is awesome. As being someone who's from New Jersey, she's a Jersey City character, and just like this shot of like her looking across at the city is just something I can really relate to. So I'm very much a fan of this cover. Um, it's also a minor key, first appearance of the inventor and things like that. But again, another cover that I just thought was really great. Definitely was a fan of the show and the character in the MCU too. So I guess a little bit of spec on this book. I think that character's here for the long haul. Next up, we have Batgirl #1. First solo series featuring Cassandra Cain as Batgirl. One of my favorite iterations of Batgirl is the Cassandra Cain Batgirl. Just love the costume. Her costume was awesome. And then these were the three big ones that I found basically. And then the first one's nothing too crazy, but House of M #1, but it's signed by Brian Michael Bendis, and it was. I'm not even joking. I don't know if it was in the wrong bin or what, but it was ridiculously reasonably priced. Like, and it was half off, and it's just really cool. I'm a big fan of the House of M storyline, but the fact that it was signed and it had a COA, so it's pretty cool. I was definitely pretty stoked about this one. Just kind of, I thought that was a pretty cool find. Next up, we have the ASM 30, J. Scott Campbell. Awesomeness. Love the J. Scott Campbell Spidey covers. So this isn't anything too crazy. It's a minor key, but the cover, the J. Scott Campbell cover, is really what I was most excited about. And then we found this one, Marvel Age 12, first appearance of the black suit. So it's pretty cool. It goes all into the story about how they got it, like the fact that it was designed by a fan. It's just really cool. So I have the other black suit keys. I never had this book though, so I thought it was pretty cool. You also get that awesome Secret Wars like preview cover. So that's all the books we picked up. Kind of moved through that pretty quickly, but yeah, it was an awesome day. I really did have a great time. All the shops were great. Um, so it just was a really awesome day. It was beautiful out. It was a great free comic book day. Got like I said, a bunch of really awesome stuff. So I was really pumped about that. Um, so yeah, that's our whole video. Please like, comment, subscribe. This is still a work in progress. We're very new to this. This is only the second video. You guys can also find me on Instagram and whatnot. I do live sales every Monday night on Whatnot, so definitely check it out. Some of those books will probably make it in there. I'm not sure which ones I'm ready to part with, but we'll see. Um, but yeah, thank you guys for checking out the video as always, and uh, yeah, thanks. Like I said, like, subscribe, appreciate it. Appreciate all the support. So thanks again, guys, and like always, happy hunting.